Hello, everybody. Welcome to Chop and Slice. I am one of your co-hosts, Michael, and this is
Brandon.
We are here to talk about Friday the 13th, Part 2.
Happy Friday the 13th, everybody.
Happy Friday the 13th. Happy Friday 13th, everybody. So here we go. I figured it'd be a good time to review this shitty movie, Friday the 13th, Part 2. And let's get into it. So, the movie opens up with
Alice from the first.
Yeah. And it was cool to see her come back. You can see some flashbacks of the first movie of her offing Pamela Voorhees. It's like they replayed the whole last scene. I didn't need to see all that. And this is like the entire movie, it felt like again, but after that...
it did play a lot of flashbacks. That was a little over the top.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of annoying. And then after that, we see the big man, Jason. He makes his debut, well...
Not really, but...
As a killer.
You know what we mean. This is first time we actually get to see Jason in action.
But I don't think they ever really revealed that it was Jason until, like, the end, right?
Yeah, it didn't...
Although I'm sure
say much.
You could pretty much imply that it was Jason Voorhees the entire movie doing all the slaying and killing. So it is kind of interesting how he found his way over to Alice's crib, which is not explained.
Still don't know how he found his way over there.
It's kind of bad writing, which is kind of a theme throughout this franchise. A lot of plot holes.
A little bit of that.
But apparently that happened, 2 months after the original events?
Yes, 2 months after. But, I don't know. Somehow he made his way over there, stabbed her in the head with an ice pick. And that was the end of our final girl, Alice, from the first.
Who I do like as a final girl. I thought she was one of the better final girls. I think she's better than the... What's her name? Amy?
Well, the actress's name is Amy Steele, but in the movie, she goes by Ginny.
And I do feel like she's better than Ginny, which is not a popular opinion, but
I don't think she's anywhere near.
I just feel like Alice was more the whole all-American, wholesome sweetheart versus Ginny, but that's just my opinion.
I just think Amy Steele was just a better quality actress.
So, Jason, his first kill ever, we see him with an ice pick through the head.
Which actually, she got hurt by that because it wasn't retracting right or something.
Yeah, the original
so she actually did kind of get hurt by that. So.
Which is an interesting little artifact from this movie.
Yep.
But the movie itself... it just felt like a remake of the original that came out a year before this. I think it was rushed. It seemed really rushed. And basically the same exact story. It even opens up with the gas station and...
Yeah, and the payphone.
And the payphone and all that.
And then you got Ralph wandering around some more.
Yeah.
Which Ralph finally gets offed in this. He was strangled, and you actually see the blood coming off of his...
Which is kind of unfortunate, because I felt like that character could have been around a lot longer. Like, I would have liked to have seen him in the third and fourth.
They got, like, some replacement guy in the third.
They just keep replacing him, which is stupid, but...
It's like, you should have never killed him off in the first place.
Yeah, he would have been, like, a good... You know what would have been cool if they would have played up it as, like, him being the father of Jason. You could have went that route. I think that would have been
Ooh.
cool, right? It's
Yeah.
revealed that he's the father.
You know what? Friday the 13th is my favorite horror movie franchise of all time. And I love Jason. I love all these movies. I've been watching them for so many years. And never once, until just now, I never thought of Jason's father. Never once crossed my mind. It's always been Jason and his mother. So
Well, his father was supposed to make an appearance in the 6th. It was actually a scene they filmed, but they ended up taking it out. Which is
I guess-
kind of unfortunate.
well, I guess maybe it's kind of better that way. But I think 6 turned out all right. But
Yeah, but it's still a mystery of who was the father.
But anyways, back to this. I really like Amy Steele as the final girl in this. It would have been nice to have seen her continue through the franchise. I prefer her over Tommy Jarvis. I'm just not really a big fan of Tommy Jarvis, and they've changed the actor on him so many times. It's just really bad. But she did want to continue, which she did state that later on she regretted it. But it would have been really cool to see Amy Steele throughout this franchise. And I really feel like Friday the 13th needed like an actual final girl through the
But I kind of like
franchise.
it that they have a final guy instead. That makes them different a little bit.
Yeah, but the problem is the actor was changed so many times. It's
Yeah, but Tommy's Tommy, and I feel like the best Tommy's definitely the one in the 6th. to me.
well, yeah.
He's
of
the
course,
coolest. But
Of course.
yeah, this one it was a little bit better than the original. More character development. Characters had more personality. I don't know why that one guy is in a wheelchair. I don't think they ever explained it.
I don't know, just something different to add,
Yeah,
I guess. I do like the head counselor, Paul.
yeah, he was kind of
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, he was cool.
It's never explained how he died, or if
Well,
he even did die.
No, he didn't. Yeah, he didn't die.
No, but remember when she woke up and she's like, "Where's Paul? Where's Paul?"
He might have disappeared. Because he did walk out with her from Jason's
Yeah,
cabin.
but remember then Jason popped out.
He popped up, but he grabbed her, and then it cut to her going...
Right,
being-
but it could have been a situation where he went to go save her against Jason, ended up...
Right, exactly, which is why I'm saying that it doesn't really show. He just kind of disappeared.
I guess it doesn't matter, but...
But he was a cool character. I like what he says. No seconds on dessert for them, you know.
Yeah, to the cop.
Yeah, and then when he was looking at the weed, he was like, "Oh, these kids smoke better weed than me." He said something like that, but he was a really cool character.
I did like the scene where the cop runs after Jason and we see where Jason's kind of living and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was
in
cool.
that shack, and then the cop gets offed by that hammer in
It
the
kind
back of the head.
it kind of shows how Jason was able to survive all these years.
Mm-hmm.
Which I really don't understand what he's doing in the first movie. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. See, Friday the 13th can get very confusing sometimes because it's like it shows him as a little boy,
Yeah, in the first.
but it does say he was drowned in 1958. Okay, first one is in 1980. Okay, so obviously he's a grown man. Why is he a boy
Yeah.
at the very end? See,
That's why I think Alice is just dreaming. Because she knew the story of him. So when she got attacked at the end of the first, I thought she was just dreaming.
but still, even saying that, what was Jason doing in the first the whole time? Just standing back and just watching his mom?
I don't know, dude.
Yeah, I don't know either, but it's a very confusing franchise, and
It
not a
makes
lot
no
of it
sense.
makes sense. You're just supposed to go with it.
Horny teens, and
Yeah, just horny teens and
of course this movie had some nudity in it, which
a little bit.
is a Friday staple.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about Baghead Jason?
Kind of a cool look, but I don't know why he only has one eye.
because the one eye is messed up. He can't see out of the one eye anyway. If you look at the side of his face, you can see that like there's a lot of his skin covering the eye, so he can't see out of it anyway.
I guess.
Um,
I do find it kind of cool how they explain why he wears a mask.
mhm.
Because he knows he's ugly, so.
Yeah, and I do really like the Baghead Jason because he looks more like a serial killer. Like he looks more legitimate.
I could have gone without the little flannel attire that he's wearing. Jason kind of looks like small in this to me too. It's like it's not my Jason. I know that.
Yeah,
It's
well,
kinda-
well, it is the same Jason from Part 3 and Part 4, but they were different actors, though.
Yeah, Jason to me is like, yeah, this. It's the first movie with Jason like really doing anything in it, so I can give them kind of like a excuse, but I thought it was kind of silly how he got hit by a car door and like flung, and then I don't know. He fell off. He broke a chair. Like that's just.
Yeah, he did get up on the chair and try to stand.
When have we ever seen Jason stand up on a chair, dude? That was just kind of...
Well, what I want to know is why did he need to stand on the chair to begin with? She was coming out of the bed. He couldn't just
stupid.
stand on the floor and stab
He
her?
kind of reminded me of Ghostface in this one, where he's just so clumsy, running around,
He'd just
falling over stuff. Just, yeah, I don't know. And he didn't really have like a weapon of choice in this. He had a knife. He had a pitchfork.
His weapon of choice was definitely the pickaxe that he was using throughout the movie.
Well, then he had a pitchfork at the end.
Yeah.
Then he had a knife.
Yeah, Jason's out of all of them, I would say Jason is the most creative killer for sure. He's very creative. He's very good at like using the environment and using his surroundings. I mean, he killed someone with a fucking air horn before. I mean, he could kill you with just about anything.
Yeah, he's very good at improvising.
Oh yes, definitely. That's why I love Jason so much. And there was definitely a lot of good kills in this. You got the spear through the bed. That was cool.
Yeah.
The knife, where he slits the guy's throat hanging upside down. Oh yeah, that's the other thing too. This movie, he sets up like a lot of booby traps and stuff. Gets hung upside down.
He's basically hunting in this movie.
Right. He's got more of that hunter style, and I think that's what the Friday the 13th remake tried to go back to, was the hunter Jason. And I do like the hunter Jason. I think it's really cool. But yeah, definitely some great kills. Dialogue, of course, was
cringy.
Yeah,
the acting wasn't that great, as per usual of any.
I feel like it was a tiny bit better than the first, but overall, it's just your typical cheesy 80s.
I don't think this movie even
film.
had all the like little sounds that those kind of sounds in this one. I don't remember hearing any of those. To be honest, I don't remember hearing it. I could be wrong. I was kind of looking for it, and I don't think it had any of that in this.
Well, I don't think it had any of it in the first either.
No, it had that.
Oh, it did? Oh, yeah, it did. Yeah.
They changed it up in this one a little bit with the music
Yeah.
and stuff. It had a new director, so he kind of had like a similar style to it, but he just basically copied and pasted from the first one. Like I said, it was released a year after, so they probably made the first one, saw how well it did. It's like, oh shoot, we gotta rush and make a second one. And I guess it did good enough to make a third and then a fourth. So.
Yeah, and then I think at that point it was really just trying to compete with Halloween. Halloween had to come out with one, and then they had to come out with one.
Yeah,
but I feel like they were definitely releasing the Friday the 13th a lot faster than they were releasing the Halloweens.
I think it's just an easier movie to make.
Yeah, it's just typical,
That's my problem with Friday the 13th. They're all too similar to me. It's like, literally, I think it's like you've seen one, you've seen them all, dude. To me, That's just my opinion on it. I do enjoy some of them.
But that's what I kind of like about it, because one thing about Friday the 13th, at least in the beginning, they weren't trying to get too creative. You know, they wanted to just stick with what Jason does. You know, Michael Myers, they've tried to get too creative sometimes. Although, I mean, Jason has been to space, but towards the end.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Overall, I just like Jason just going around doing what Jason does, and,
This movie was really goofy, though. Some of the, some of the characters were pretty good. Like you said, the camp counselor, I really do like that guy.
yeah, Paul.
He might be one of my favorite characters in this whole series. He's just pretty cool.
Yeah, he was a cool character. That's for sure.
He wasn't an idiot.
Uh-huh. Yeah, there wasn't, over-the-top, really idiots in this movie, though.
That one nerdy dude.
Which one?
That always was smiling.
Oh, boy.
That guy was terrible.
Douchey.
He reminded me of the guy from the third one with the Jason mask.
Shelley.
Oh, dude. That guy is the worst.
But I guess Shelley is actually really smart in real life. I guess he was a real-life lawyer, and he was working on the lawsuit with Friday the 13th. That was going on.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. But yeah, and the lawsuit is kind of unfortunate. You know, I've really been craving a new Friday the 13th movie. I would really love to see a new trilogy come out. I don't know what they would do, but this movie, for what I think it was very decent. Better than the first.
Yeah, it's better than the first. It was quicker paced. It got to the action a lot quicker to me.
Yeah. Just right off the bat, it was.
I wasn't a big fan of the kills, but they were definitely a step up. And Jason's just better than Pamela, if you ask me.
Yeah,
He's just a better killer. Yeah, I don't have major issues with this movie. It's a good movie if you just want to relax, throw on a Friday. I mean, I really appreciate this film in different kind of ways. I mean, it's just your typical. This is probably, honestly, other than the first, just your most typical Friday 13th movie, which is okay. I do like the third one, which we'll be reviewing hopefully soon. I like that one just better. I think it's just the better.
I do too.
But I do like this one because it's just your typical Friday the 13th. Just the acting and everything is pretty shitty. But if you're just gonna cozy up and watch a classic Friday the 13th movie, I think this is as Friday of a 13th movie as you can get. Pretty, got horny teens, everywhere. This actually had a lot of teens in it. There was a lot of people in this one.
Yeah, there was.
It was a pretty large amount of.
Yeah, there was a lot.
Which, remember where
one thing we forgot to mention, the camp is separated.
Yeah, it's a different type of, it's not Camp Crystal Lake.
It's, I think it's not Higgins Haven. I think it's Packanack.
Yeah, Packanack.
But, yeah, they've got it kind of wired off.
Yeah.
Because of all the stuff that, happened.
Right.
So.
And in the Friday game too, they got that map.
Yeah, they got the Packanack, the Higgins Haven, Pinehurst. Pinehurst is in the 5th.
Yeah.
Which is
this is definitely the weakest Jason, and even in the game, I think he's the weakest Jason. If you played the game, you play the game, so.
Yeah, I play the game a lot. Still today, it's such a fun game.
How often do you use Part 2, Jason?
Actually, he's kind of my secondary choice because Part 2, he starts off with the most traps. He starts off with 7 bear traps.
No other. You can run with them, which is cool.
Right, you can run with them. But yeah, actually, I do like to use the Part 2 one a lot. But I have the Savini Jason, which is the most OP. So
right.
But yeah, and that is really cool. Jason's got his own video game and stuff, but it's just unfortunate with the lawsuit and everything. They couldn't add any more content. But it's just unfortunate. I would love to see Jason back in action. I know they got that new TV series. Did it come out yet? I don't think so.
No.
Crystal Lake.
But that's going to be...
It's going to be based off of his mom.
Yeah, which is stupid.
It's because of the lawsuit. In order for them to make a new Friday the 13th movie, Sean Cunningham and Victor Miller have to come together. And it's going to be hard for them to do that after they've been at each other's throats over this all these years.
Well, hopefully they see if this series has success. I think it's going to be on Peacock. If it has,
Is that what they said?
I think so. Yeah.
Or was it HBO Max?
Pretty sure it was Peacock. I could be wrong, but I don't know. You guys know the facts. Comment in the comment section if I'm wrong on that, but I think it's Peacock. And if it's Pamela, which she's not interesting anyway, but maybe we'll get to see how Jason was drowned, because I still think they can use the Jason name, right?
Well, I think this is a Victor Miller project, and I think he owns little boy Jason. He just doesn't own the hockey mask wielding Jason.
So we can maybe see how Jason's drowned. And that maybe would give us more insight on this whole backstory of Jason. Because I'm interested to know more about his backstory and why he was drowned. We know he was bullied and all that, but how he got deformed, if it was a genetic issue, if it was something that happened to his face, or whatever, or if his mom's just nuts, I don't know. But we'll see. I'm looking forward to that series.
But yeah, Jason is definitely an iconic character. He is one of the big three. Michael, Jason, and Freddy Krueger.
Fred Krueger.
Yep, one of the big three. He's my personal favorite. Love this franchise. I do like this movie.
This movie is pretty good. It's okay. I mean, I know I said it was shitty, but you know, it's your typical Friday movie. So, what you imagine Friday, just a bunch of camp counselors hanging out. This is the best thing that depicts what a Friday 13th movie is, which is good. You know, this is like I said, the killing in it. The final girl was pretty good. Guinea, she was okay. I don't really have any problems with her. I guess it would have been cool if she would have stayed. But it ended just like the first one did. Too similar. They just copied and pasted it. That was my issue with it.
Yeah, that is right.
They made it better. They said, we can make it better. But it's the same exact movie. So with the ratings, let's get to that.
Yeah, what would you give, Michael?
I think I'd give this movie a 5 out of 10. Like I said, it's definitely not the worst Friday, and I think it's definitely better than 5, let's be honest. So, it's not the worst Friday, and it's definitely better than the first. So, with that being said, it's on the bottom tier of the Fridays, but a lot of it was enjoyable. Like I said, I do like the fact that it's just classic Friday the 13th. The score was really good in this, as all the Fridays. The score is always great in these. So, with that being said, that's why I give it a 5 out of 10. Just the acting was bad. The plot holes didn't make any sense. But yeah, so it's a 5 out of 10 movie for me. And I would recommend watching this again. I could watch this movie again easily. So, it's a rewatchable movie. So that's good enough for me. First one to me isn't. So, Brandon, how about you? What would you rate this movie?
Well, like you said, about it just being a good classic Friday the 13th movie, which is very, very true. I'm going to go 6.5 on it. That's what I really love about this movie. This is a movie where I can just, come home, crack open a beer, and just watch this movie. It's just a great kick back and watch, and a lot of nostalgia to this. And I know that there's not really that much story to Friday the 13th, but I guess this is what I love about it. Even though all the movies are very similar, I just like watching Jason. just going around and killing. Like that Halloween Ends, they made it all complicated, adding this Corey Cunningham. Why couldn't Michael Myers just kill people? You know, just do what Michael Myers does. You know, this movie was just all about the basics. You know, it's just Jason. Just put Jason there and just have him kill. You know, don't have to complicate the situation. But not 10 out of 10, of course not. But 6.5 for me. It was above average. I think it's a solid film for its time, and that's just where I'm at with it.
Yeah, pretty solid movie, and that gives that a 11.5
out of 20. 11.5.
So, yeah, guys, let us know what you guys think of this movie. I'm sure, hopefully, you guys have all seen it. Hopefully, we didn't spoil too much for you. If you haven't seen this movie, then you're what? 1981. Do the math.
That's like 40 years behind.
Yeah. You're far behind, my friends. So catch up. Go see it if you haven't. It's a good...
And one thing I forgot to mention, you know, the thing that really angered me about this lawsuit is, you know, Halloween 2018 got its 40th anniversary movie. And it would have really been cool to see in 2020 to see Friday the 13th get its 40th anniversary. But unfortunately, because of the lawsuit, we didn't get it. And I know for a fact that they would have came out with a 40th anniversary
Maybe
film.
we'll get a 50th.
50th.
Seems
But
so
do we
far
all really want to wait another 7 years?
to get that 13th movie, because they're at 12 right now.
Technically, yeah. I don't count Freddy vs. Jason as part of the franchise. For me, it would be a 12.
It is part of the franchise, though.
Eh.
Any movie Jason's in, that's a Friday movie, baby.
And to me, that movie felt more like a Nightmare on Elm Street anyway. But,
Freddy has one kill in it.
yeah, but Freddy was just totally pulling the strings, and there's so much dream stuff going on in
Jason
it.
whoops his ass.
Yeah, he does.
Jason just is slaughtering people.
Yeah, he's just...
I think that might
Jason's
be-
just a savage.
That's like Jason's highest kill count is in that movie.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
He massacred that whole rave party.
And that's my Jason. This one...
And that was my favorite version of Jason, was the one from Freddy vs. Jason.
And when you think about the evolution of Jason, to go from part 2
to
all
Uber Jason.
the way to like Jason X, that's insane to think about.
Yeah, he's got a huge evolution, and he just gets stronger and stronger
They
every
just think
time.
about how crazy can we go.
How crazily OP can we go with this character? You know.
It's kind of sad to think about the last Friday 13th came out in what,
09.
Yeah, 09, when we were getting all those remakes, which was kind of fun. We got the Halloween remake, got the Friday, and then Nightmare. That one sucked. Although
I didn't think it was as bad as everybody else thinks it was.
Yeah.
But it was definitely the worst out of the Friday the 13th, and of course, worse than...
It was worse than two of the Halloween.
Right. Definitely was not as good as the Rob Zombie Halloween, but...
So, yeah. Like we said, guys, happy Friday 13th. Happy whatever, you know. Go watch this movie today, if you guys are listening to it. Or any other Friday 13th. This is a beautiful day to watch a Friday the 13th movie. So, if you're a horror fan, go celebrate. Watch some Friday 13th. And, yeah, like and subscribe if you guys would like to. And enjoy this horror holiday. Later, guys. Peace out.